Hi friends, it's Terry Stewart, Independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Welcome to my Stamping is Fun channel. Today I have a beautiful fun card that features the Butterfly Bouquet collection. So this is the card that I've made, and I have cased it, which means copy and share everything from a Stampin' Up! Flyer. It features the Butterfly Brilliance stamp set, the coordinating brilliant wings, which comes with a lot of dies. There are these that make this, we'll be using this die, which cuts out all of the butterflies at once. I'll be using this die that makes like little wormholes in the natural touch specialty paper. And then you have all these dies with the intricate cuts. And there's even more butterflies here, a solid one with wings, bricks, and these kind of like parquet-like look. So there's a lot of dies. And then we have the specialty paper, the natural touch. And I don't know if you can see this, but it has wood grain texture to it. Now it's a very thin paper, which comes in handy when I'm doing some embossing, die cutting with it. So this paper, and then this pattern, and this pattern is watercolor splotchy pattern from the Butterfly Bijou that we'll be using. Now this die fits perfectly over these butterflies. So for this card, takes 3 passes with my cut and emboss machine. 1 to cut out these butterflies, and then 2 passes, I'll stack up my DSP and run this die through twice. So like this, go through once, and then I'll stack them again and do a second pass, and that gives us these little holes at both the top and the bottom of the wood, the natural touch DSP. So let's get started. In addition to the dies and the stamps and the DSP, I'm also using a piece of So Saffron cardstock, a piece of white cardstock for my inside, and then a scrap of white for my birthday greeting. My original card, I did the base in Bumblebee. And then come to find out with my DSP pack on the back that actually So Saffron is also a color that coordinates with this DSP pack. So on the back side, it shows you all the different colors that can coordinate. Very handy tip. So let me bring my die cutting machine in to do the die cuts for this card. Then we will do some stamping and some assembling. So for my first pass through, I'm going to line the die up with the butterflies on the DSP. Place my plate number 3 on top, and then roll this through. And then with just one pass through my cut and emboss machine, I have 6 butterflies ready for my project. Now I'm stacking 3 pieces of this natural touch DSP together and place those in the middle of my cutting plate, and then bring in my die. I'm going to do the bottom and then move it to the top. And because the paper's so thin, it will cut 3 pieces at once. Now I place the die for the second pass, run it through. And there our die cutting is all done. For this card, Melon Mambo, Mango Melody, and Calypso Coral butterflies. These I'll save for another project. This card, I'll be using the Itty Bitty Greetings with Hey Friend. This piece of scrap white is about 3/8 of an inch wide, and I'm going to use my Memento black ink and stamp my Hey Friend sentiment. And that's all the stamping for this project. My card base is a piece of So Saffron that's cut 5.5 by 8.5. I'm going to fold it in half using my bone folder to burnish that fold line. And then I'm going to dry fit my pieces that I have die cut. So there's one of the Natural Touch specialty paper, the other piece, and then a piece here at the bottom. And I want to put it these pieces so there's about 1/4 inch on the top, on the side and the top, and then 1/4 inch from the side. Now these pieces, these DSP pieces are 1 1/4 square, so I will just dry fit them in here. So this is how I'll glue these down. And I'll use my grid paper to help me line up. So with my liquid glue, I'll put a thin bead of glue right on the edge of this DSP and some here in the middle to make sure it gets tacked down. And then using my grid paper, I'll place this so there's a 1/4 inch on the side and the top. I'll do the same for the bottom piece. And then we'll do the bottom right corner and then work my way up the card. In this piece, I'll line up the left edges and then make sure there's an equal distance between top piece and the bottom piece. And now the top right. Using my grid and the piece on the left. And then the final piece of Natural Touch specialty paper. I'll line this with the top piece and the bottom piece, and then also with the piece of DSP on the left. These are the 3 butterflies I'm using, and I'm going to put dimensionals on the back of those. And with the dimensionals, I can do a dry fit with these also. And I'll remove the dimensional covers and place each of my butterflies on the card front. The Melon Mambo butterfly. for highlights. And our Hey Friend, I'll take my paper snips. With my paper snips, I'll trim my sentiment. Take a little bit off this side. Place it right in the middle, right on top. And my insert. And I'm leaving this blank so I can write a personalized note when I'm ready to mail it away. For last little embellishment, I have these epoxy clear dots, and I'm going to place them around the card front. And I'm using like six or seven of these. There you have the completed card. This was the original with the bumblebee cardstock and So Saffron cardstock. Thank you so much for joining me. Please subscribe to my channel so I can bring you even more fun projects. Until next time, remember, stamping is fun.